All right, I got a couple things. The first one is one way for Trump to stay in office is that I think there has to be a national emergency. And maybe due to we all know getting Kamala and Biden there is a national emergency, but the point of it is that maybe as an option we can something can be done or whatever, so there's a national emergency so that it cannot be switched over. Oh, that'd be so funny. It just, but it's just sick. They stole the election, man. It's kind of like if let's say your girl, you know she's done something, like she's cheated or something like that. You can just feel it. You know, she hasn't said anything. You're kind of about it. But you can just feel it. You can sense something. You just know. It's the same thing with the election. I know they stole it. You can just get the feel off of them. The election was stolen. It was planned months ago, if not even longer, because as you know, the media was being used to imply that Biden was far on the polls ahead, because that was done to get the people to think that Biden was going to win. But Biden wasn't really that high in the polls. It was just being stated that way, from what I see. Because there not many people at these rallies for Biden, from what I heard, and Trump had a lot more. Just for an example, you see. So there's a lot in the media, as you know, has been pretty much pro anything besides Trump. And of course the media, we can just rip on the media, but the point is the media is just doing their job. They're told what to say. If they don't do what they will not be there. The people will not have their jobs. They know this. And some of them don't really care about what they do. So those who own the media are involved with this. And the governors, people can rip on the governor Whitmer as much as they want, but she is a puppet. She is following her orders. Ohio governor, for example, probably was called and he was told, hey, you know, we need your support now because Biden, he is going to be the president. As you can see, they just said this to him, you see. And so you need to start playing along with us. So the governor of Ohio says, yes, the masks, they're effective. You know, he started saying that now. And he's got a curfew. People, I guess, can't be out past 10 p.m. So, in Ohio. So I assume that doesn't include jobs and stuff like that, but, you know, playing around and stuff like that, or whatever you want to call it. I guess they're not supposed to be outside off their property. So anyway, that's the first one. The second topic is this. Remember the TPP, the Trans-Pacific Partnership? It's a pretty much trade agreement on heroin. I was about to say on steroids, but heroin. It's where China gets just sucks jobs, much more than NAFTA did. Well, first thing that I guess Trump did when he got in, he canceled it. What do you think Biden's going to do? And you probably have, I'm not trying to spook you here, I'm just looking at what I see. I think it's the industrial land in China is going up in price. I think it's industrial or commercial. I forget which one they said. I think it's regarding industrial, meaning manufacturing. So, you know, people are like, we know China's going to be hooked up, and so many of these jobs under Biden, if they get their way, are going to be going to China. And these libtards and these people that don't quite understand that the Democratic Party is against them, like let's say for example, people who are working in the automotive industry who are voting for Biden, who voted for Biden, and who voted for Whitmer. These people may lose their jobs because their jobs may be sent to China. The automotive industry may leave Michigan to a great degree. It might. It might. And these people screw themselves. And a lot of people who, people say, just don't worry about the election. But the point of it is that these people can affect your lives with the trade agreements they make, with the laws they make. And even if they don't affect your paycheck directly at first, those, let's say you get your income from somebody else, such as the medical field, the people may not be able to pay their insurances and it will affect your paycheck. And the government under Biden may hook up your wages. Who knows what they'll pay. And I'm not trying to spook you, but the point of it is that can happen under their kind of system. I think you'll have work. I mean, there's always work to do in the medical. What else? So that's what I get out of it, and that's just some of the things. Just follow the plan. You can pick up the points. Now, it just as a note, I like to remind people is that the governor is like the president. You see, a governor is like a president, but it's a president of a state. Like Whitmer's, you might say they've been elected as the president of Michigan, and so forth throughout every state has one. And then we have of course the national, where all the states together they have a president. They like to call it president. You can call it governor, I don't know, whatever, but that's how they do it in this country. And I think, I don't know what to say. Let's put it this way: if people took over Lansing, I wouldn't be. I wouldn't, and they took it over because it's corrupt. We've got judges, politicians that are crooks. We've got it's just terrible. The problem with the population, though, is that over decades it has it's been screwed over by the so-called education, not just in pre-12th grade, but also in universities. They've been taught a lot of nonsense, and the quality has went down greatly. They've lessened the ability of a person to really be able to read. They don't know their language. There's a bunch of things that were done to attack the people, such as taking, whether or not what you think of religion, they took a lot of that. They pretty much made it seem like it had no value and it was a bunch of nonsense. But whether or not it has value or whatever, or whether or not it's real or not, there is some wise information in there, here and there, and at least here and there, and it's stupid to think that it has no value. And on top of that, if one studies it themselves, one might find that what they're being taught about it isn't even true. What they have been taught about let's say Christianity may not be the Christianity includes the stuff regarding Jesus and all of the previous stuff prior to Jesus, which is the Jewish. It includes both. So, and of course, we go into TV and movies, which also was used as a mean to screw over the means as a. It was used as a means to screw over the people. So and that's just some of the things. So this has been planned for a long, long time. And as you know, China loves that Biden got in there. But China, of course, is being controlled also. But China's plan is to be the manufacturer because that's where they can get a lot of free slave labor, pretty much. I say free because they pay them like so bad, a lot of people, that it's practically free. People say, why do you, their lives are so, I didn't want to go into that right now. But, and there's a plan for the Western countries, as you probably do know. They want to reduce the population in the Western countries. And they have their plans regarding that. You can probably dream up some things. And because you can't have the people, the Western countries like Europe, Australia, United States, and I guess Canada to an extent, and maybe Mexico to an extent. These places are a problem for the people who want to have a one world government, slave planet controlled. You see, they're because you can't have individual rights and be able to a way to kick back at some dictator coming down with a boot. They don't want anybody who's going to be able to do that. Kick back. So, and the vaccine, supposedly, I guess, one might be available next month in December. Now, this vaccine, considering how much tests were done, this sucker may not kill you at first, okay? But I'm just saying, and under Biden, if it actually goes that far and he actually makes it in, under Biden and Kamala, uh, there's ways to try to get people to take the vaccine, such as $1,000 fine if you don't take it because you're a burden on the medical system, or whatever they'll come up with. And they're probably not going to stick with one vaccination. You probably have heard that. I have. So I'm fear mongering. Sorry, but tell them to shove it up their backside. This vaccination is. I don't. When I had some vaccinations in my life, the worst I ever got sick from you might say, the so-called flu was after I had the vaccinations. I never really got sick too much. The worst I've gotten sick was from the vaccinations. These worst coughs, they were after the vaccinations. I only remember 2 times in particular, and it was because it was after the vaccinations, about a week after, if not that. Even less maybe. So I don't take them, and you're going to find that they're probably going to offer people maybe money or whatever that takes a vaccination because you're helping things out. I mean, you might not be able to get a next stimulus check if you don't take the vaccination. I'm not kidding. They might offer $2,500, but if you haven't taken the vaccination, uh, you know. Anyway, there's the long recording. I think it's all dumb. It's all a scam, and hopefully Trump can still get in there because I don't want Biden in there. I feel so bad. It's like imagine Biden and Kamala being at the national level, and then at the state of Michigan level, I've got Governor Gretchen Whitmer. I mean, that's probably worse, maybe worse than, whereas at least she's temporarily gotten her emergency powers blocked. shutting down the economy. They did that. They did that through the court here in Michigan, I believe. At least that occurred. But I mean, look at California, New Jersey, and New York, and now we got Ohio. The governor, stepping to the side and saying, I'm gonna, go along with it because I don't want to get screwed by these people in the national government. A lot of these governors I think they're kind of like afraid now because they've been, I think all of them have been called recently, and they said, well, how are you going to play when Biden gets in there? If he gets in there, well, how are you going to play? Because it looks like he's won. We need to know how you're going to play. You're going to go along? How far can we get you to do whatever? Or maybe that wasn't said like that. But, I mean, it's sick. And the problem is a lot of the population apparently is for this. But they're going to find out. Yes, there's a thing we've heard about. You probably have heard about this thing called universal basic income. Everyone might get it. But someone's got to pay for it. And also, are they going to give that to somebody who has a job? Or are they going to give that to somebody who has lots of money? Are they going to give that to somebody who is on disability? Or are they going to, So it's anything where the government is giving it out, they can take away. If you don't have control and the government gets crooked or they have some type of thing, they can take. And so these people are going to learn the hard way for vote. They're thinking they're going to get free toasters and, I guess a free toaster and maybe a free diaper for their face and free toilet paper or whatever they think they're going to get from Kamala. Whatever reason why they voted for these people they're going to end up possibly getting 100 million people from foreign country inside the United States that don't go along with the people here, and they want to ruin this place. Go ahead, that's that. I'm not saying go ahead and do it. I'm just saying these people who think they're going to get their goodies, they're going to lose their goodies. Do you think the government's going to bail out the post office? They may for a while. A lot of postal workers probably thinking that we got to vote for Biden. But do you think that these people give a rat's ass about them, about their pensions, about their security in their older age? Do you think Biden and Kamala care? They would probably get pleasure out of watching them suffer when they're 65 or 75, whatever, scrape going to a church or something to try to get some stale bread or something like that. And maybe they can't even walk there. They got to get one of their grandchildren or something to go there because they can't walk anymore. And there's no medical care for them anymore. I assure you. The people, I think the people who want to bring about a one world government want us dead. And if we're going to be any problem for them, we're not going to be under their boot, and we're going to try to kick back. Anyway, sorry about that. But people don't get it, man. All right, end of this recording.